Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC, out in the woods again today, making my favourite kind of content because I'm all about the backpacks. Bags, backpacks, any type of bag whatsoever. That's a good one actually. I don't think there's any type of bag that I'm not particularly a fan of. But anyway, yes, so we're out here today to look at, now in English, this will be spelt Wisport, but as this is a Polish company and Polish brand, I'm guessing it's probably pronounced Wisport. But yes, we're here today to look at the Wisport ZipperFox 25ltr. There's two versions of this one. This is the 25ltr and there is a large version. How big's that one? I believe that's 40. I want to say 44. No, I think it's just 40. Comparatively between the two, you'll be able to see they're very similar. Difference being, you can see that it's, you know, it's scaled up. The capacity is roughly twice the size. So yes, so we'll be having a look at this today. Now, before I start, I want to give a huge shout out to Military First. Military First is an online store, the largest in the UK for outdoors and military supplies. They do lots of other stuff as well, but they've been a supporter of the channel now for a good 4 years. They're an awesome team just outside of the Kingdom of the Moorlands, a stone throw away in Manchester. And yes, so for all of your military, all of your outdoor needs, they supply all of the major manufacturers plus some. And yes, post all the way through UK, Europe and the rest of the world. Absolutely amazing team. I will leave the links below so that you can see more from them and the Wisport lines that they have as well. So yes, a huge thank you to the guys there. Lukasz, yes, you're a legend. But for now, okay, so let's take a closer look at the Wisport ZipperFox 25ltr. So as we usually do, we'll look through some measurements, some materials, and then we'll have a look around the actual pack itself. So as previously mentioned, this is a 25ltr day pack. Day packs are great. There's certainly a sweet spot between 20 to 30 litres. Above 30 litres, you know, you're looking at your kind of your 72-hour style pack. With it being perfectly in the middle, 25 litres is certainly a great size. And I've found it's deceptively large. For a 25ltr pack, I can generally fit more, or it just feels, I feel that I can fit more in it than I have done in other 25ltr packs. Measurements wise, it comes in at 500mm by 270mm by 190mm deep. Materials, this is constructed from 500D Cordura. I like the fact that they went for the 500D. Yes, it's great. Oh, you know, I really wanted 1000, but at the end of the day, let's face it, there's a fly on my, if you can hear that. 500 litres is fine, unless you think you're really going to put this through the mixer, then you don't really need anything more than 500D Cordura. But yes, it's genuine Cordura. The zippers on here, so the zippers aren't YKK, they're actually a European company called Croco. They make other high-end zips. Generally find that if people don't go for YKK, a lot of European companies will go for the Croco versions instead. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And the buckles on here are all Duraflex Nexus, ITW Nexus buckles, which you really can't complain about either. Okay, so what will, colours wise, now I've never seen this selection in colours before, apart from Helicon Tex. I don't think they're actually related in any way like Direct Action and Helicon Tex are, but I'd say for colours there's probably about 15-16 different colours. I'll check the website just to make sure, but rest assured that you've got all of your kind of your standard colours. OD green, this is the RAL 7013. There's the different pen cots, there's multicam black, so on and so forth. They really do have pretty much anything in every different camo or colour that you might want to go for. So let's go through the pack itself. what I thought is we'll start here on the front, check the bottom, and then yeah, as we usually do. So on the front, hopefully you'll be able to see this large front panel down the middle here. There is, if I bring this in, you can see that you have the Wisport ZipperFox 25 on the front. I'm just going to call this a ZipperFox from now on, just because I think it's just easy to remember. But yes, you have some PALS webbing across the front here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 4 columns. Now on the outside you do have one of these kind of little wee columns here at the top, so if you wanted to connect something to there you could do, but you definitely couldn't use that column for actually, you know, attaching any sort of MOLLE compatible item to it. But then you also do have some additional D-links or D things. It's all about the D. I get confused when I start thinking about the D. But yeah, so you can have these on the front here. If you've got some spare webbing, then you can use these as extra anchor points should you need to affix something to the front. Moving down, then you have these 2 buckles, which are great because these go through here. It means that you can attach something to the front. So if you have a bedroll, but then you also have maybe a wet bedroll, or you have something that you're sleeping in on the floor, then you can make sure that you can keep these 2 safe. The webbing, if I bring this out here, hopefully you'll be able to see that there is a section there where the webbing goes through. So you have one large loop here which has got plenty of webbing so that you can expand that, and then you have an additional one here at the bottom. That's what I mean, how you can keep those 2 items separately. Just as a quick bit here, I suppose this is still looking at the bottom. I think this is a nice feature. More companies should do this. So you have some hook and loop, and then in here you have a rain hood that you can pull out that is also attached as well. So it's not one of those that you can put down and lose. It's attached in there, so you're definitely not going to lose it. So that's the front. Moving through to, actually we'll start here at the front. Here, so you do have a morale patch section as well if you want to put your name on there, or some morale patches. Then on the side, now I will say that both of these sides are identical, so having a look at this one here, it does mirror that on the other side. We have 2 compression straps. Now I do like the way that they've done these compression straps. Rather than just stitching this into this corner seam here, they have this hood, and what the hood does is it brings this over the zip. So underneath here, hopefully you'll be able to see the zip runs all the way down through the side there. But make sure that that is over the zip certainly helps to defeat some of the things that I know people have said about these zips. Whatever you're decanting from, they get thrown on the floor, whatever it is, they do have a habit of popping open. Now having this over here so that it takes a lot of the pressure away from the zip, I think is a very good move, and well, just more companies should do this sort of stuff. But yes, so what this also does as well is it helps to widen the pressure of that compression strap. The compression straps have plenty of additional webbing in case you need to attach anything to the side, and then you also have these little elastic loops so that you can look after any additional webbing and stop it from flapping around. Personally, I think with these, just threading it through the PALS webbing on the side does a good job of keeping that out of the way. Now there is plenty of PALS webbing in here, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns and 2, 4, 5 rows of PALS webbing on the side. Again, if there's anything that's MOLLE compatible, then you can attach that on here. Going down to the bottom here, you have this additional handle, which can be used as a grab handle should you need to. If you have a buddy that's on the floor, you need to get them out of the way of something, there's a decent grab handle at the top, but there's an extra grab handle there. But this is mainly for your skis, so should you need to pass a ski through here, it will go all the way through. So rather than putting it into this little pocket section here at the bottom, it will pass all the way through, and then the I don't know what you call them. What are the bits that you put your feet into? Clasps, calipers, ski doofers. So your ski doofers, as it goes through, your ski doofers will hold on there, and then you can put your 2 straps across that. Also great for things like axes as well. So should you need to, you can put your axe through there. It will sit in this little kind of pocket that's here. Today, I'll put a photo here, but I bring out a little stool that I sit on while I'm filming certain bits, and that fits perfectly into there. So really nice side section. I like to see that they've filled the whole section up with the PALS webbing, and the additional little bits like here just gives you extra modularity should you want to put something else on the side. Now I'm going to swing round to this side before we then have a look at the inside, mainly because, now as I say, so this panel here is exactly the same. There's no difference whatsoever, but there are these extra zips here. So you have the option, so they're double zipped. You can zip it from the bottom or you can zip it from the top, however which way you prefer to do it. That's not getting stuck, so on the inside here there's just an extra bit of that stitching, so it's not actually getting stuck with the zip itself. It's just, there's just a little bulge that you have to just kind of pull it around. So on the inside here, this is padded, so whatever you have in here will be protected against your back, and I will say that the padding on this is excellent. But this is where you can store a hydration bladder. So I mean, with the size that you've got on this, you could easily store a 3-litre hydration bladder in here, not have any issues whatsoever. It's not hook and loop lined, just in case that's something that people like to use. If you're using this as a go bag, maybe you want to put a CCW in there. You can't do that, no, and there's not even any sort of PALS webbing or anything like that in there as well. But I think really, you know, it's not designed for that. It's designed for your hydration bladder. At the top here, if I just pull this up, here's your little hook for your hydration bladder, so it will sit in there, and then this is also the opening for your hydration bladder to come out of as well. So that's the outside. On the inside, you do have to, actually no, let's leave them on for the main reason that, so on the top here, it has one of these J style zips, so it comes from the bottom here, goes up, turns and then goes round. So if you've got stuff on the top that you want to have quick access to, and the main reason that I left those there is that if you just open the top and pull it down, the compression straps on the side will stop it from completely opening. You can open this up and then you get access to quick access sections. Now I do have, I've just put my filming bag, this is the bag that I put my filming equipment in there just to kind of give it some volume. But on the front flap, which is where, you know, the part that unzips, there is a mesh pocket on here. Now the mesh on this, the only one other place that I've seen this type of mesh, if you're into your ghillie suits, the Stalker ghillie suit and also the KMC, is it the KMCS ghillie suit, uses this kind of mesh. I haven't seen this kind of mesh on a backpack before. It's just a little bit tougher. It almost feels kind of like nylon. Look, if I just crumple that, you can see it crumples like nylon does. It's almost as though it is like nylon, but they've just missed the sections so that you can see through. But yeah, so nice zip on there. And then at the top here, there is another zip pocket, but this is a completely free floating zip pocket. So should you want to put something in there that you want to have access to when it's full, you put everything in there, put that across the top, and then you can close that. Whereas this one isn't mesh. It just means that, well, I guess really you need to remember what's in there if you are putting stuff in. And then you can use the compression straps. It will pull all the way down. Sorry, there is my knife, which I did have in the side, but I know why that's popped out. And you can pull that all the way down to get instant access to everything in here. I will say, so Poland's slightly different on one thing, but I have checked with Wisport and I can confirm that it is tactical teddy bear compliant. They have a different system. They call it the compliancy of tactical teddy bears rather than tactical teddy bear, the International Tactical Teddy Bear Compliancy Rating. But yes, it is tactical teddy bear compliant. Now on the inside, so I'm going to splay this open so hopefully you can see. So if you are in a situation that you just need to get something out of here, the way that this butterflies open is really nice, and a lot of packs have started to adopt this type of style, but I like the additional detail that they've added to this. So rather than just two sides that aren't being used, this side here on the right, you have more of this mesh. And this is a double pocket, so although there are 2 zips, it's actually stitched across here. So there's a pocket at the top that you can use and a pocket at the bottom here that you can use. And then let's say maybe if I probably should have zipped those halfway up, but you can get instant access to either of those. On the left hand side here, rather than having this full length being used as pockets, instead you have some, there's my knife, you have a pass through here. This goes all the way through, and then it can go into this pocket here at the bottom again. So if you have a long item that you need to be able to pass all the way through, it's good to be able to keep that so it's away from everything else. Plus on the side we have 3 rows of 3 columns of Powell's webbing, again for additional modularity. In the back section there is an extra pocket here. I have been using this to commute to the studio that I work in. I can fit my 16-inch laptop in here, but it doesn't fit in here. I mean, I don't think this is designed for that. You can put it in, but I mean, at the end of the day, any sort of backpack that's around probably 19 litres or upwards, you can put a 16-inch laptop into. But yeah, so this is elasticated and does what it needs to do. A couple of extra points on the inside here as well. You have some more of those D-rings, so you have 2 at the top here and 2 at the bottom. So if you have additional webbing or something that you want to put stuff in here, or maybe if this was, imagine this was lying down, you've got all of your kit in there, so that you don't want this to open out when you do open it out, because you want instant access to things here on the side. If you've got some 550 paracord, some additional webbing, you can put that to make sure that everything in the middle here stays in place. A very, very nice system, and I think in a way there's a lot of other manufacturers that miss this sort of stuff, so it's great that they've added this in. As an extra feature, now I will say, I wouldn't say necessarily struggle with these zips. In fact, there you go. There's a bit of a knack to it, so because like with a lot of other zips, generally you'll tend to find they just zip straight down, but you've got a corner here, so when you're pulling the zip to try and get it around the radius of that corner, I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it's not the easiest to get round. I wouldn't say that necessarily it's the zip's fault. It's probably more of an observation. You just have to make sure you give it a bit of a pull when it goes around there. But what they've added to this, so rather than having to get in from the top to get stuff that's on the bottom and you're like, oh my god, I can't get it, you do have dual zippers. So if you need to get something that's on the bottom here, you can undo that zip, which I think is a great feature. Again, more companies need to do the double zip kind of thing, because it's just, yeah, there's nothing worse than putting all of your kit away and then realising you've got to get something out. Generally it's tactical teddy bear on the bottom and I'm just about to go to sleep. So turning this round, we'll have a look at the suspension system. Now I will say the suspension system on this is very nice. It's very plush, in fact. The actual harness itself is really thick, so there is a bit of an S kind of flow to it to make sure that it just fits around your shoulders, around your deltoids, and then passes through to underneath your armpits. But the padding in here, I don't know if it's closed cell, I don't know what it is, but it's very nice. And now when I say very nice, I'm talking go ruck kind of very nice. Really wide. I think for a 25-litre pack you don't tend to see the width of the straps like this, so that is great. If you do put a lot into here, then it certainly helps to disperse that weight across your shoulders. You also have some load bearers. Load bearers allow you to pull the top of the pack in closer to you, so when you're walking it keeps it closer to your centre of gravity whilst you're walking. Another great feature, the fact that they've added those. Hydration system, so there are 2 extra loops down here, and the one closer on the right hand side here has a little bit of Wisport branding on there. And then it come down to where the sternum strap is. Now I like, again I like that they've added this. So on the sternum strap, the buckles that attach the sternum strap on here have these hydration clips, so you can, well, you know, you put it whichever way you want, or you know, they just kind of twist about. But if it is that you just use one side, you don't use the other, there is a little thing that you pop in. I'm not going to do it now because I'll probably end up breaking my... Oh no, hold on, I've done it, I have done it. And these come off, so should you need to replace these, you can do. These are Duraflex ones, so I'm guessing these are probably readily available, but you also get one on each side, so take one of them off, put it somewhere that you won't lose it, and if one of these does happen to break on you, then you have the other one there as well. Sternum strap's great, plenty of room on the sternum strap. It's not one of those elasticated ones, so there's not a lot of give in it, but I actually quite like that. It just helps to relieve some of that weight on your shoulders. So coming back down, past the sternum strap, you then have quick release buckles here, so should you be in a pinch, you need to ditch this for whatever reason, then yes, you can ditch it and it will just fall straight off and you can go about whatever you need to do. On the side you have these really nice large sections here, which will make sure that it just gives you that extra kind of room around the sides. Then we get on to the actual back panel. So the back panel on this is really nice. I'm trying to remember the other companies, because I think the SAS system on here, the SAS system is, I don't think it's a Wisport, I don't think it's one of theirs. I'm sure, I can't. Anyway, it's bugging me now. I tell you what, if you can remember other companies that use the SAS system, let's see below. So SAS is semi-adjustable system. On this one, there's no height or lumbar support kind of adjustments that you can have. Whereas on the 40 litre version of this, then there is that on here. I think for 25 litre pack, you know, it's a one size fits all. Underneath this tab, there is an aluminium back rigidity pole part kind of thing. If you want to take that out, you can simply take that out, pull the flap back over again, and yeah, that's just about right. Now, I mentioned this before, but the padding on the back of this is really, really nice. Very, very plush. Comes all the way down, and then you've also got a gap in here just to give some airflow. Now, it's not going to stop sweating. Any company that says that it'll stop sweating, it's not going to stop sweating, but it'll just allow some air to be able to get through there. Coming down onto the lumbar section, so the mesh that's on here, as it comes down, it then goes back to the Cordura material. So if you have a belt rubbing on this, it'll make sure that it keeps that belt, or at least it keeps the padding underneath here nice and safe. The waist belt, the belt itself is removable. I'm not going to do it now, mainly because it's a pain in the arse, but if you've seen these kind of bags before, it's very similar to how they all work. So there's a pass through here on this side where my hand is. There's no sort of attachment on here, whereas if I run my hand underneath here, you'll be able to hear this. I can't pry it off. Come on, you bugger. Anyway, there's hook and loop underneath there. Trying to get it back in is tricky. Damn, it is tricky. The hook and loop on this it's just a massive hook and loop panel in there to keep it so it's nice and fast. On the inside, you have more of the mesh material that goes through the back panel, and then on the outside, we're back on the Cordura. This is a really nice belt, considering this is a 25 litre pack. This is great. I mean, I've looked at 30-40 litre packs that don't have a belt this nice. Through the side, rather than having zip pockets on the side here, this is a whole pass-through panel, so maybe if you want to pass something through there, maybe you're out and about for some strange reason, you want to put your knife, I don't know why you'd have not that on your belt, but anyway, you've got a pass-through. You also have some PALS webbing on both sides, so it is on both sides should you need it. Then we come through to the buckle on the front. We have this really large Duraflex buckle, and then you've also got additional clips here so that the additional webbing is kept out of the way. And of course, how does it wear? Well, I think with the things that we've looked at so far today, you probably guessed by this point that it wears very well. From the additional padding that you get through the shoulder straps. The suspension system sits very well. It's nice and snug on your shoulders, not too far apart, not too close together. For me, it's just about right. Just in case you're wondering, I have kind of a 42, 44 inch chest, but there's plenty of adjust that you can do on here if needs be. I do like the fact that it has a sternum strap. I'm a big fan of those. And plus, as well as mentioned, with the waist belt on this one, I'm glad that Wisport went that extra little bit further to put this nice padding on here. With it being a 25-litre pack, you're not going to be able to overpack it as such, but I don't know, a lot of companies would have just gone for one of those little kind of 1-inch webbing belts that's there just to really stabilise it. With the extra padding, the extra comfort that you've got on this, it will sit perfectly on your love handles, and you know, it'll help to negate some of the weight that you put through your shoulders, which is the main reason why we have these nice belts. So yeah, I'm a massive fan, as mentioned before, with this. So Wisport aren't a new company, but they're new to me. Their range, they have the ZipperFox, I think there's a Sparrow, there's a few different ones. So definitely looking forward to seeing a little bit more from ZipperFox. Definitely looking forward to seeing more from Wisport in the future. So yeah, now as I usually do, I will leave some links down below here so that you can see more from Wisport, but importantly, thank you again to Military First for sending this my way. I'll leave all of their links below so that you can see more from them. You'll be able to see their social media sites as well. Highly recommend signing up to their newsletter. They do regular sales, usually between say 15 to 20% off. Usually they'll do like a 20% off all camo items, or they'll do like 15% off everything site-wise. Anyway, so yes, I'll leave all of their links below. I'll also leave some of my social media links, but for now, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Continued support on my channel. This was sent to me free of charge, but as it's not one of Military First's own lines, you know, the agreement that I have with them is that they're more than happy for me to give all the information that I had to improvise today. I left my rope at home, so we're using the dog lead. What is it? That dude says, improvise, overcome, slay your enemies. I don't think it's definitely that last bit, but say anything between a 20 to 30 litre backpack is great for a day bag, with 25 being quite a good tit spot. Sorry, there was a bird there. We have birds here called tits. That was a yellow tit. I definitely waffled. I ad-libbed that last bit about the, you can probably tell, the bit about the sales. They do very good sales actually. Bought a lot of stuff from there, and I like the way that they do it. So it's rather than just, they do sales on certain things, like, I don't know, Helican Tech sale, but then they'll do anything Pencott sale, which I don't know, it's kind of cool if you've got certain gear or, anyway, you know the deal. I'm to wear my boonie hat out here a little bit more now. Not because it's sunny, it's because of the damn flies. Even Norman doesn't like flies, but he does like eating shit. Right, cool, love you, bye.